Hi, how's it going? Resident of Collinwood here, and it is Michael Myers Monday once again, so it's time for another Halloween character retrospective. And on this Michael Myers Monday, who am I doing? By Conal Cochran, of course. What, did you think I was going to skip over Season of the Witch? No. Um, Dan O'Healy's character is one of most interest. And often with me, in my opinion, it's not just when you watch a movie or necessarily what order you watch films. Often enough times it's when you are introduced to the character. Not just in the film, but how many films you've seen into your life. And then you are introduced to this villain that, in horror, from a horror standpoint, and from a film standpoint, that was two films that were about a slasher, and then you meet this man who's a witch. And I gotta give a shout out here to fellow friend and YouTuber Daniel Culver Killenberg. Daniel's right. Conal is a witch, and he's not a green witch. This isn't the Wizard of Oz here. This isn't green skin, pointy nose, whatever. Magical powers with a broom. This is somebody who's using modern technology with magic elements to sort of do what he wants to do. He's taking the innocence of Halloween in his own way, where Michael Myers took innocence of Halloween and tried to kill some kids. Conal Cochran does it on a global level. And, from a horror standpoint, you've never seen this done in a series that was considered a slasher. Season of the Witch, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is definitely, it's so different from the rest of the franchise, and that's what makes it so unique. And that's what makes this villain so unique. By the time I watched Conal Cochran, I had seen most of the James Bond films up until that point, even GoldenEye. I think GoldenEye. By the time I watched Season of Witch, GoldenEye was in theaters, and I went to go see it. Thank you, Mom. Was GoldenEye the first Bond movie I've ever watched? No, and Doctor No wasn't either, but the first film I did watch was with Connery, and it was You Only Live Twice, the one with Donald Pleasance. So that was the first Bond movie I ever saw, was You Only Live Twice, and I'll never forget it. And I think I'd seen Doctor No. That was like the third or fourth Bond movie I'd watch. I know it's the very first one. It's the very first Bond movie is Doctor No. But I'm not trying to get off point here, but by the time I watch this character, I've seen most of the Bond films, and when I see Conal Cochran's character, when I see this character of Conal Cochran, played by Dan O'Healy, it reminds me a lot of the Bond villains I've watched. And I'm not saying he ripped off from them or even took from them. I'm just saying from a global aspect. We've never seen Halloween taken on a global aspect outside of Season of the Witch, outside of Conal Cochran's character. And that's another reason his character is so villainous. Not only is it targeting kids, yes, he targets kids, but he's targeting everybody. He's getting everybody by getting the kids and the mask and then the snake. It's such an interesting villain and aspect of it that you'd only would have seen this in a Bond film. But they take sort of a Bond-esque villain and they put it in a Halloween movie. And that was never done. And, Halloween has always made these choices that have been, holy shit, it's ballsy as hell. You're taking a chance. You're taking a killer everybody knows in Michael Myers, and you're saying, okay, we're going to create a new villain, a new concept, brand new, snap of the fingers. And it was so interesting and good. And then you get an actor who can sell, like Dan, who was immensely talented. By the way, his son has played heels over the years in Death Wish 3 and in other movies. So his son is actually a very good actor in his own right, if you haven't checked him out. But Dan O'Healy, Conal Cochran to me, where Michael is an A, so Dan's an A plus. Dan's character is an A plus. I'm not saying people say you're saying he's better than Michael Myers. I'm saying he's as evil, if not more evil, than Michael Myers, because what Michael was trying to do to like one town or a set of group of people, whether he was targeting them or not, Dan O'Healy's character is taking what he's doing and making it a global level. He's literally trying to wipe out everybody. Clean slate. And it's so sinister, but yet presented in an innocent way, and that's what makes it sinister. Oh, here's some mask for your kids. Lo and behold, the mask has a special surprise and a special giveaway that we don't want. And I'll never forget that. And I think Conal Cochran, to me, is one of the best heels in horror history. It definitely, if I had to rank my heels, who's the number one heel in horror? Is Michael Myers number one from like John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween from a horror standpoint? I would say yes, but right there with him, to me, number two is Conal Cochran. 3 to me would be Pamela Voorhees, and people were like, not Freddy. No, Freddy would be 4. I like Freddy Krueger. I love Robert Englund. But that's just my order. Look, it doesn't have to be yours. I think in a lot of ways, and then, by the way, the tall man would be 5th. I know it sounds low, but to me, in a lot of ways, Conal Cochran is one of those villains you'll never forget. When you watch Season of the Witch, when you watch Halloween 3, he's not on there a lot. And that's sort of another thing, too, where the oldest of Bond films, and you'll go watch this, where the villain isn't, like, revealed till the end, that's exactly what Season of the Witch does. You Only Live Twice does this. Where they don't reveal Donald Pleasance's face, they don't reveal Blofeld's face, and it's Donald Pleasance who's playing the part. Well, in Season of the Witch, you don't see Conal Cochran throughout a lot of the movie, and then when you do and you meet him, it's like, holy shit. And you realize what he's up to when Dr. Chalice reveals it, and he reveals it to Dr. Chalice, really. It's just amazing. And definitely, I'm glad this is 8 minutes plus, because definitely Dan O'Healy, the character of Conal Cochran, excellent work, and a great creation by the Halloween crew, John Carpenter and them. Tommy Lee Wallace directed this movie. Definitely go check this out. This has been a Halloween character retrospective of Conal Cochran. I hope I did this justice, guys. You guys have a good one, and have a happy Michael Myers Monday.